Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the most notorious serial killers of modern history. After being sentenced to 16 life sentences, he was sent to a maximum security prison. His first year, he seemed to be on a path to redemption. He was even baptized and became a born-again Christian, but one of his inmates proved to be his demise. The first attack came from a fellow prisoner who tried to slash his neck, but he survived. A few months later, Dahmer was found bloody on the bathroom floor. He suffered multiple blows to the head from a metal bar, and he died in the hospital later that day. The attacker was another prisoner, and according to New York Post, the killer said that he killed him because of the persona he played to make everyone fear him. The Watts family was an almost perfect family, or at least they seemed to be. One day the whole family went missing, except for the husband, Chris. He said that he had no idea where his pregnant wife and his two daughters were. He underwent the lie detector, but he didn't pass the test. Then he confessed that he strangled his wife to death after fighting about his wish to separate. And his daughters woke up, so he loaded both of his daughters and his dead wife in the car. And he killed them one by one before disposing the bodies. Nico Jenkins was released from prison after serving 10 years for carjacking. A month later, he started his killing spree. He killed 4 people within 10 days. He later said that he did it to please the ancient Egyptian god Apophis, who told him to kill. He even cut his own you-know-what to make it look like a serpent. He also tried to carve 666 on his forehead, but he forgot that he was looking in a mirror, so it looked like an upside-down 999. Despite all the episodes, it was determined that he was fit to stand a trial, and 3 years later he was sentenced to death.
Just a cigarette, and it cannot be that bad. Honey, don't you love me?
Natasha Kampusch was walking to school alone for the first time at the age of 10. But it didn't go as planned. A man in a white van pulled up beside her, and like that, she was kidnapped. He took them to a fortified secret room that took them 1 hour to get inside. She did anything to preserve the illusion of normality, like asking for bedtime stories. But as she got older and began to rebel, he beat her up to 200 times a week. He denied her food and forced her to clean the house half naked. She even tried to commit suicide multiple times. After 8 years of captivity, she found an opportunity while cleaning his car outside, and she successfully escaped. A bit later, the man confessed to his friend, laid down in front of a train, and killed himself. So the Alphabet murders took place between 1971 and 1973. 3 young girls were sexually assaulted and brutally murdered by a killer who was never found. All of the victims' first and last names started with the same letter. They were at a similar age, from Catholic families, and struggled at school. All 3 were found in a city that matched the first letter of their names. There were multiple suspects, but as they dug deeper, more questions than answers appeared. However, we are not even sure if the killings are linked, or if the doubled initials were deliberate or just a coincidence. So the case remains unsolved.
I was busy thinking about.
Carly was described as a fun, loving girl who was well liked by many. In the days before her disappearance, her friends said that she was experiencing some episodes. One day she attended a house party, and there she began to panic. She called her stepmother and asked her to get her because she was scared. Her stepmother found her running down the street. Her face was as if she saw a ghost, and in the car she said that the car was trying to kill her. Later she claimed that she was high, but she still acted strangely. However, the next day Carly wasn't in her room. They couldn't find her anywhere. There was no sign of her, but there was also no indication of abduction. One theory suggests that she died of drug overdose. Another theory that she was kidnapped when she left home. And the final theory claims that she could have committed suicide.
It's just a cigarette, and it cannot be that bad.
Honey, don't you love
Ed Gein grew up in a house dominated by a controlling mother, but after her death his mental health disintegrated. After some years, a woman was reported missing from her hardware store. A trail of blood led to Ed Gein's home. They found her headless, gutted body hanging from the ceiling. They also found organs in jars and skulls used as bowls. He confessed to killing 2 people and digging up multiple corpses. He practiced necrophilia and he made masks and suits out of their skin. He died of cancer and respiratory illnesses 26 years later in a mental health institute.